So let's talk about the ugly side of building a business that no one really talks about. The ugly side of becoming an entrepreneur. There are so many shaggies that you're probably going to see, but nobody's really prepping you for that, and it will come. So when you see someone in their season, you know, it's looking like they're having everything that they wanted, business is going well, the numbers are numbering, there is a whole lot that they are dealing with behind the scene that they are not even willing to share for fear that you might judge them, for fear that you might say, oh, who sent you a message? So in this video, I'm just going to walk you through some of them, because I'm currently at that point where I am going through this and I'm asking myself some of the questions that I'm going to be answering in this video. So one of such questions is, who sent you? There are times you wake up and you feel like, wait, who even asked you to do this thing that you're doing? Why not just go and get a 9 to 5? I mean, you don't have to be worried or personally involved with managing clients, managing different people, and they're different idiosyncrasies. You just have to be able to deliver on your job. So who sent you? You're going to wake up on some days and doubt yourself. You're going to wake up on some days and feel like, oh God, I hope I am not wasting my time, or I'm not wasting, my years, especially when you've been grinding, you've been doing that thing because you believe so much in it and you believe that it will work. So certain times you just wake up and ask yourself, you begin to doubt, am I making the right decision? Is entrepreneurship really for me? Am I really supposed to be in this business? Or is my calling actually to be working and helping someone else build their business? If you ever felt this way, you're not alone. There are so many people who have felt the way you're feeling right now, and I'm telling you that some days can be overwhelming, but hang in there, because at the end of the day, things will work out for you. So let's talk about the emotional, brutality of running a business. Yes, things might look glamorous from the outside, but when you look at the inside, the battles that you're fighting. You're constantly putting out fires. You're feeling betrayed by your co-founder or even his team member. You're dealing with staff theft, especially for those people who are into product businesses. In fact, I particularly feel for those people who are, doing food because you're selling, but you know that somehow things are not adding up, because maybe the staff that you've hired are constantly picking and reducing, and every single item that goes missing affects your profitability at the end of the day. Then you're dealing with government agencies, regulatory bodies. You're being asked to pay heavy fines, and you're wondering how much have you even sold in a year. There is a whole lot of emotional turmoil that goes into building a business, and if you're currently feeling low, I celebrate you, and I want to tell you that there's light at the end of the tunnel. Betrayal is part of the journey. I'm not going to even mince words when I'm saying this. Betrayal is part of the journey. In my career as a startup lawyer, I've worked with founders who felt betrayed by their co-founders. In fact, very recently, a particular co-founder relationship broke up because one person felt like he was not being carried along. It was a shock to him when he realized that his name was not on the CSC document, and he had been building. He's supposed to be the CTO, putting in his time, energy, and effort. So he felt like he was being taken advantage of. And even as a founder, right, you would depend. I know of another co-founder that depended so much on these people he was about to bring in, and somehow they up and left. They left the country. He became stranded. In fact, he couldn't continue building because he didn't have any technical expertise, so he was solely depending on them. So one day you can wake up and there's something we call key man risk. You can wake up one day and the person you trust the most will just decide to up and leave you, or maybe your suppliers will disappoint you. Your technology will break down. So many things. Internet can even decide to frustrate you. And how about NEPA? So there's a whole lot. Betrayal, disappointment, they're all part of the journey. You will lose money. I can't even say this enough. You will lose money trying to figure out marketing. You will lose money trying to hire the best hands. You will lose money trying to improve on your product. You will lose money. And so if you're going into a business, you have to be ready, like mentally ready, to have some money that you can play with, that you can experiment with, because you will lose money. And that's why I will not advise you to go and borrow your children's school fees, or take your house rent, or take your hospital bill money and use that to put into a business that you're not sure. Business is a risk. Yes, if it turns out to be profitable, you'll be better off for it, but it is a risk, it's an investment. So you want to be able to understand and know your risk level before you take certain risks. But as for losing money in business, oh, that's definitely going to come. Definitely. The law will not pity you. In fact, the law has no sympathy when it comes to doing the right things. So if you go into word of mouth agreements, verbal contracts with your contractors, with your partners, with even your team members, and things go south, the law will only protect you when there is something to be protected. You don't own what is not documented. So if you're building a business, it's not just about finding people who are willing to pay for your product. The systems and the structures that ensure that you are protected, which largely depends on your legal structure, documentation, ensuring that everything is in black and white and written down, is so important. This can save you a lot of nightmare. But these are some of the things that people will know. A lot of people have been burnt first before realizing that this is what they should have done. But I'm making this video so that you don't have to go through that route again. You don't have to make the same mistake that other people make. You can learn from their mistake and do better in your own business. So while running a business is not for the faint-hearted, while it is not a walk in the park, while it is not a bed of roses, your survival will be the blueprint that other people would use to succeed. So you owe it to yourself, you owe it to those behind you, and you owe it to those that you're even looking forward to create something that they can look forward to, something that they can use as a benchmark for success, to say, oh, if this person did it, then I can follow the footprints that he followed, and I'm sure to achieve the same level of success, or at least achieve some level of success as they did. So it's not going to be an easy journey. I'm telling you that building a business is one of the hardest things that you can do. Getting people to part with their money, getting people to pay you is one of the hardest things that you can do. But if you do it and you do it well, you'll be better for it. Your life will be better for it. Your future self will thank you for it. But there is a lot of work. So if you're one of those people that think that, oh, it's because I want to be in control of my time, I want to have time, that's why I opted for entrepreneurship as against working, you lie. Because sometimes you walk round and round and round the clock. You walk round the clock and you would even walk till the next day, right? Especially when you have deadline. So what you can do for yourself is, the earlier you begin to put in structures, the better for you, starting with the legal foundation. At the end of the day, everything rests upon the legal foundation. And so if that is shaky, if that is not in place, then you are in for a long, bumpy ride. So these are some of the things that nobody talks about in entrepreneurship, and I hope that you got value from this. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, like, share, and drop your comments. I'll see you in my next video.